It is Tuesday night women's hoops, and Minnesota rolling into this one at College Park, back in the top 25 for the first time in 6 years. And Maryland, how about this? They've won this series 14-1 all time against the Golden Gophers. But hey, 2 combined losses between these two entering tonight's showdown on Big Ten Network.
Iron sharpens iron in the Big Ten for sure.
They called the USC last week a thriller here with a packed house, 14,000 in College Park, and then the win against Wisconsin -2 starters the other night. Away we go from XFINITY Center. Early 3 misses for the Golden Gophers, and it's snatched by the elite rebounder from Maryland, Christina Dulce.
That's a plus 13.5 margin for rebounding for Maryland. And Dawn Plitzowite, the head coach at Minnesota, she said that is at the top of their list. We don't want to have to take their rebounds away, but we have to stay pretty even with them on the glass because of those possessions.
Game's first turnover to Maryland, and McKinney the other way for the Golden Gophers.
Quick trip there, but I tell you what, she was AP Coach of the Year that season at Minnesota. She's on the Cheryl Miller watched list, and she has been dynamic in terms of being a strong rebounder for the Terps. That was an amazing start. So she just says, hey, we need to build on that, obviously, but the challenge in this game will be, can we sustain it for 40 minutes against a solid team, especially on the interior, that Maryland is going to present in this one.
Yeah, Terps with 9 to shoot. McDaniel, strong move, and the runners cut off glass.
She is just so fearless. You've seen her exponentially improve her skill set. This is her 3rd season in a Maryland uniform, and she has just gained in confidence, in conditioning, speed, and execution.
Nice answer battle with the finish, and we're tied up at 4.
Maya Battle, she has been fantastic. The last 5 games, she has scored in double figures for Minnesota.
And the Terps with their 2nd turnover, and right down Broadway for the scoop is Mallory Heyer.
Well, that's what we were talking about, right? The execution, and it's plays like that. And
steps. Shyanne Sellers gets a breather right now into the game. Sarah Tibiasu from Maryland, who didn't play at Wisconsin, dealing with ankle issues, but a swipe by come the Terps. It's Michael. And the cleanup is there for who else but Dulce.
Gap discipline, which they have had so far in this possession.
Rose with 1 to shoot, a little too strong for Minnesota. McDaniel slipped, trying to get it back. Look at that fight for the boost ball.
Oh, hopefully she's okay. That's awful.
Sellers tees up a 3, and they're going to look at McDaniel at the end of the bench, but just walking it off. And now she's going to sit and kind of work on that leg a bit. 2nd chance for Minnesota, and the jumper's good for Battle.
Yeah, Battle has such a feathery touch from the mid-range, and that's where she likes to attack it.
Dulce working the post. And that soft touch is good. 4th Maryland turnover.
It's like some zone here by Maryland, a 2-3, a little matchup. And that's what Maryland's done differently this year. They've shown looks on the defensive side last year, a lot of switching 1 through 4, sometimes 1 through 5.
Battle sinks the 3, and we're tied up.
She has been on a heater. Remember 3-4-3 for the Gophers. Let that one fly. Contest and a made shot. Love to see that if you're Dawn Plitzowite.
And you never leave the table when you're on a heater, right?
No, you don't. Let it fly. 11-11.
Battle with the nice answer from Minnesota, and a really good start for Maya Battle. She's got 9 points.
Absolutely, and she says she holds them accountable in practice as Bri gets that one to go for the Terps from the mid-range. But she said that's what we go over in practice. Like, we give them 10 possessions, and we say, hey, you can't turn that thing over. And if you turn it over 1 time, like, that's enough out of those 10. And
she
play for about 30 minutes.
Nerdy math, and we're like students asking follow-up questions to the teacher as Raholski scored. Trail 3 McDaniel, and that rims out.
That's a good look in transition, and that's something Dawn Plitzowite said, hey, our transition defense has to be on point. Inside and from the outside.
They pounded inside. The recipient is Heyer for the 2.
Heyer got downhill quickly.
Daniel stonewall, but she scored.
They're not skewing one way or the other in terms of direction. Shooting over top is what Maryland has found success with inside.
Drive and kick, runner missed. Hart the cleanup again. Maryland chance at a 2-for-1 with 42 seconds left first quarter. And it's Sellers off the dribble. Dulcie fighting. She's got the rebound. McDaniel, nice feed, and Kubek with the layup.
And that's the great dime. You don't need to rush.
Shot clock turned off. McDaniel the swipe. Off to the races. McDaniel. Dulcie, 1 second. Popped out. And after one, it's a 2-point game with Minnesota leading 19-17. And McDaniel is down for the Terps.
Oh, no.
Looks a little more severe. Let's watch.
Yeah, you just hate to see anyone get injured and that just looked like she was off balance on the way into the basket.
For Maryland, Bri McDaniel going down just before the end of the first quarter, and this was a scene being helped to the locker room with no weight on either foot.
Hopefully it's nothing serious for Bri McDaniel, who is leading all Maryland scorers with 6 on 3 of 6 shooting. Just made a great pass, just stole the ball, and on that run out was injured at the end of the play.
Nearly 11 points per game off the bench. Starting the last 2 games now. Had 21 the last time out at Wisconsin. Guards top players, including Juju Watkins against USC last week. So we'll obviously hope for the best for McDaniel as Sellers makes the 3 and gives the Terps the 1-point lead.
Really shown her stalwart ability on both ends.
Rose squeezing through. Clean up there from Sophie Hart. 1 to shoot, and the 3 is good to beat the buzzer for Mallory Heyer. He's now on the season.
Yeah, 31% clip coming into this game for Heyer.
Trail 3 missed by Kubek, but that's so much what Maryland runs.
Yeah, absolutely. They love to have great spacing. That was a great look, just didn't get it to fall over the lip of the rim.
Battle misses. Hard to clean up again. Sophie Hart squeezing through. Banker missed, but a foul.
An offensive post player wants that body so they can gain that leverage on their seals on the interior, square up, and then box out to finish the play.
Hey, Christy, Hart, the only player on this roster. Sonato is into the game now for Dawn Plitzowite's squad. Number 5 in red.
So Maryland trying to get a piece of the paint.
And Tibiasu. And Sarah Tibiasu from Montreal, Quebec. Hits the first for Pacific, and it's only on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. Had a big clip as well.
No, absolutely, because they love the area. And it's not just their guards or their posts, it's all 5 players. They want to touch the paint before they make things happen.
Sellers.
That was just cold-blooded right there by senior Shy, stopping on a dime, creating that space, and dropping it home. Sweet.
That looked like up in PG County, right? Mr. Durant.
Yeah.
Ankle breaker. Oh, nice answer. Battle.
Being very disruptive.
Loose on the deck and a turnover by Poffenbarger. McKinney stripped and lost it. There's Sellers. Poffenbarger missed the last time, the spin, and this time the finish. To Brad Sellers, we look at what Cheyenne done recently in the Big Ten. He inbounded on the shot against Cleveland in 1989, and then MJ makes it over Craig Elo, who unfortunately jumped to the sky.
He sure did.
I think he hit Richfield Coliseum ceiling.
I think so.
And who was the first guy out to say, way to go? He's in the shot. He's in the video of history was Brad Sellers.
I love it. Cheyenne's dad. Oh, I love it. Shout out Brad Sellers.
He had a good, solid career. Unfortunately, he was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Plus 13 rebounding margin.
Sellers tucks it and will go to the line. A blocking foul. And there is the former coach of the Golden Gophers for exactly 1 season. What a year it was. The coach of the year, Brenda Frese, with the Hall of Famer, Miss Lindsay Whalen.
Oh, look at baby Brenda. Oh, look at Lindsay Whalen. I love it. They still have a fantastic relationship to this day.
This is what Dawn Plitzowite's team's trying to do tonight. Beat a top 10 team on the road for the first time since Brenda Frese's team did it January of 2002.
Amazing.
Right now they're up by 1.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big challenge, but that's what Big Ten women's basketball is all about.
This, Christy, 7 ties, 11 lead changes, And right now, Maryland by a point. Gracholski airballs the three, and Maryland will play it. Sellers, her 13th straight game in double figures, right now with 10. Kicks it out to the spot is Poffenbarger, and this time.
And that keeps defenses honest, and that opens up the paint when you try to run them off that three-point line.
Hard double team, still squeezing it in for two.
Oh, how did she get that to go?
Smyko, long ball, and she's going to shoot two. Well, higher with her second foul. McKinney, by the way, with 3 for the Gophers. At their third as a team. Christie shooting it at nearly 82%. It's not just the efficiency, but the frequency. She attempts over 5 free throws a game.
Yeah, she came alive in the second half against USC just a couple of days ago last week, and she just has the ability to score the basketball. 6th best right now in the Big Ten in scoring.
Hard steps. Minnesota with their 14th foul of the second quarter.
Johnson has been magnificent off the bench for Minnesota, the lefty. Able to come in and score double figures twice so far this season.
Sellers.
Even with that, Minnesota still within striking distance, just 2 possessions back here on the road in conference play.
Final 3:08 of this first half. And Johnson attacks the leaner, gets the roll. She's got nice length and a really nice stroke, doesn't she?
She does. And she's just solid. A high early release on the moon ball.
By the way, no surprise, Bri McDaniel has been ruled out for the rest of the game.
Oh, pumpkin. Sending good vibes and prayers her way. Hopefully it's nothing serious.
Final 2 minutes of the second. Johnson enters it in for Hart. Hart on the seal with the just popped out at the last moment.
Poffenbarger is just so solid on the glass, holding her position and snarling that one down.
Smyko off the mark on the 3, and a loose ball foul on this end.
And you don't want to have to lock a body like that, and that's very tempting to do, okay? But you can keep people behind you the same way. If you have your hands down there, people can hook and do-si-do and do all that stuff. Keep your hands high.
Rebounding 1-on-1.
Put your hands up over here. Dulcie is an X factor when it comes to winning those possessions, and not just the defensive boards. But
Johnson 0 for 2, but it's snatched by Gracholski. Johnson off the mark on the 3. Hart, another chance. Triple teamed, looking, and a foul before. All right, Sophie Hart, let's quiet the crowd. Stick these free throws.
Yeah, they paid off.
Talk about a moon ball release.
That's way up there. You in practice, right? You win the scrimmage. Adjustments happen now with the lack of size on the inside for the Terps.
You know, Hart's normally a 48% free throw shooter. Made those both. Tapped out off the miss to battle. It's been quiet this quarter, but strong early with 11 points. Gracholski sets it up. Holloway. Final minute here in the second. Johnson off the dribble. And there's Hart again, down low, wide open, and Holloway with the finish.
Yeah, that rotation.
Let's see if Maryland goes 2 for 1. Nice pass down low, and McLean, a chance at 3 for Maryland. See the graduate on her jersey. Began at UConn, then Virginia for 2 years. Didn't play last year due to injury. Johnson with a seam to the rim. Shoot 2. Johnson is intriguing, Christie. Freshman who makes the first. A tremendous start without LeBron, who played just 5 games. So players like Johnson factoring in more than maybe you expected at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, Don Plitzowite said that McKenna Johnson attacks with confidence. And she loves to see that grow every single possession of every single game.
3 seconds, down low, extra feed. Smyko at the buzzer, scores. And at the break in Maryland, it's the Terps by 5 against Minnesota.
Well, the solid interior play the last several possessions. Not only have they been intentional of attacking the paint on the offensive end, but they've been able to get second and third chance opportunities for a +8 advantage on second chance points against Maryland, who holds a +13 advantage in rebounding margin coming into this game. So that is most impressive on the road.
Free throws coming up for Gracholski the rest of the game, and we hope not for much longer as Bri McDaniel went down for tonight. And for Minnesota,
about discipline for both teams because of both of those factors, right? Bri McDaniel being out, Maryland had a 6-2 fast break advantage. Most of that was due to Bri McDaniel getting into offense from defense.
Sellers, the baseline and go reverse for a tough two.
Tiptoed through the tulips on the baseline. Shyanne Sellers can make you pay in a myriad of ways, and she's just so tough to contain.
She has 14. Paddle and Sellers, the matchup tonight. Gracholski with the rain-making three and the answer.
Grace is sufficient from the three-point line. A 31% shooter from range coming into this one.
Johnson. So the freshman begins the third quarter on the floor with McKinney in foul trouble. A little shake up there from Dawn Plitzu-White.
Just trying to buy some time, right? And those three fouls, you don't want to get a quick fourth to start the second half and then continue to play.
No, it's a good seal, but a bad pass by Battle. And back comes Maryland, and it's Schmeichel with the triple. Open look for Higher. And the bounce to Schmeichel. Was quiet against USC last week. Nice bounce pass. And Tibiasu out of control, but off the foot of Hart, and Maryland catching a break.
And that's what they need to continue to do. I love how the defense was playing nice and loose on the inside. That's what we were talking about. Don't give Hart that contact. That's what she wants.
Schmeichel feeling good. Missed that time. Big rebound, McLean, and the putback's good. Their largest lead tonight by 7. Battle goes to work. Battle off the mark. And Maryland trying to seize to begin this quarter. Schmeichel, foul line, floater is good. And Minnesota wants a timeout. We watch, we empathize, we feel for those out there. We can't imagine it because we're not there. But at the very least, donate, text, call someone you know, make sure they're safe, make sure they're okay, because it's been just heart-wrenching what's happened over the last week plus.
No, it's devastating. It's almost like it's not real, but it is real. And whatever you can do to help, anything to do to help is much needed.
Nice concentration by Dulcie, and a loose ball foul as bodies spill.
Oh, she's holding that right foot. Hopefully she's okay.
Earlier for Maryland, now this one for Johnson. The good news is walking off at her own strength.
You just hate those injuries. A really good documentary on her journey.
I mean, look at the numbers. 5 games, re-aggravated a right foot injury that occurred last year as well. Dulcie exits for Maryland with 3 fouls now. Alexia Rose wearing 0 for Minnesota in the game. And Hart just short on that hook shot. And a loose ball foul flying in on Grace Gracholski.
Decides to recalibrate offensively and set it up.
Off the screen, drills it. And Sellers from mid-range.
You can't speed Shyanne Sellers up. I mean, she was surgical and patient. Betts and that crew, they are getting some work done. #1 team in the country.
That's a nice answer, though, by Holloway inside. 5 to shoot. Kubek with the pass. McLean down Broadway. Turnpike with the 2.
It's never that fast on the Turnpike, but that was pretty fast by Mir McLean.
That's a lot of red lights and construction on Route 1 right now.
There you go.
I saw where you were going. Here's Kubek for 3. Nails it!
Impatience once again by Maryland in the quarter court. And that's something Brenda Frese said she wanted to shore up as well. We're a great fast break team, but we got to get it done in the half court as well.
Nice answer by Hart. I got a question for you about Route 1, by the way.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
Decades?
Just a couple of decades, not so many things.
You wouldn't know it.
Okay, good.
And with that, we put a bow on it. Here's McKinney with the left hand, and that's good.
And McKinney, they missed her presence.
Now Sellers draws a double team, kept the dribble, lost it, divings McKinney, it's loose. And Sellers just trying to keep the possession.
Fear the turtle. Back on. What is it, Ninja Turtles? You have
I
littles.
love that.
You have 2 little boys.
So my older guy, Ben, is just getting into it. The Donatello purple and the Leonardo blue, and he's learning all about what they do.
Everybody, Shyanne Sellers tying it tight.
Maryland by 12 with 2 and change left here in the third, and it's going the other way.
That's what you'd love to see. She was trying to stay loose. That's a 2-step down there. If you're a post player, you know what that 2-step is defensively. Get to the high side, take a step back, do the 2-step to get around. That one is down there, getting hard. And Kubek are going at it. You hear me?
And Kubek was trying to sell the Captain Insano that time.
Back in college, I missed getting down in there, getting arms going everywhere. Missed it.
Well, here's the good news. You get fouled like that, you go to the foul line.
Yeah.
Maryland is 12 for 12 and perfect at the line.
And that's what they need to continue to capitalize on.
Stewart slips and scores. That's what she does best. 11 points per game off the bench. In fact, that leads Minnesota by a slim margin.
Yeah, 2 times this season she's been able to score.
But Kubek is getting going in the third now at 9 in 16 minutes. Rips it away, but Stewart retrieves. Pull it out higher with the high rainmaking 3.
That X factor, that glue player, and her ability to stretch the floor like that. That 3 was way out there. She got it to drop.
And on the duck in off the ball, here's Sellers at the line, and Maryland's still perfect. 4 years at Nebraska, over 100 games played. But from Plymouth, Minnesota, and that's been the story of the roster, 11 from Minnesota. 2 from Wisconsin, and then 1 each from Connecticut and California as McKinney with the top.
It's just a tough shot with the defense, giving her a lot of resistance there, and she just plowed to the rack for that strong finish, and they need more of that from her.
Kubek nails another one from 3. Her second, she has 12 in 17 minutes.
Brenda Frese animated, applauding that offensive effort by her team, and Kubek knocking in another triple for Maryland to increase this lead as they're trying to carry some solid momentum into the 4th quarter.
Second between the clocks, Stewart the roll, and chance at 3 for Annika Stewart with 7.2 left in the third.
So you got to be on the string, one pulling the next.
Yeah, 3-point play for Stewart. 7.2 left.
Plenty of time for a clean look.
Sellers.
Oh my.
Contact. Offensive. With 3.6 to go, and Sellers with that foul, that's her second.
She holds it immediately. Hopefully she's okay, but still grimacing in pain as she's walking off the court.
All right, Minnesota, 94 feet, 3.6. Battle back in. Traholski, the launch from midcourt at the buzzer. And steps. Yeah. And the buzzer sounds, so after 3.
Absolutely, and hopefully it's nothing serious for Bri McDaniel. She's been having a remarkable season thus far for the number 8 team in the country, Maryland Terrapins. So hopefully it's just something that'll keep her out for a short time.
Yeah. Hanover 12 in the third. Schmeichel picks it up and scores off the loose change.
I tell you what, Schmeichel has said there are no shots that I'm afraid to take, and she has amnesia. If she misses one, she's going to come right back at you, and that's the kind of fierce competitor she is. Transfer out of Rutgers.
And McKinney, who didn't play against Rutgers the other, you get USC, Texas, and Newark for the Coretta Scott King Classic on January 20th. So important.
Absolutely. Big Ten women's basketball, when you have 6 teams in the top 25, you're going to have a stretch where you're going to play 4 teams in the top 10, with you being one of them. So you take that as a challenge, and that's what you want as a competitor.
Step back for higher is off the mark, and retrieved by McLean for Maryland. And Schmeichel, their second leading scorer. Out of a double, it's Kubek again, yes!
On spray outs, in transition, and in the quarter court.
Battle turns the corner.
That thing was like a volleyball spike out of bounds.
Looks like you back at Cole Fieldhouse.
He's got kangaroos. How many ain't have that?
Gotta take feeding it to you.
I appreciate it, but that wasn't me.
Good to see Sellers back in the game after her wrist was injured earlier. Michael missed the rim on the three. McLean with the spin and the steps, and I guess feeling good after that last near block, too. The Golden Gophers, their best 17-game start in school history, just one loss. Banker by Battle's good. And that loss coming at Nebraska December 8th.
Staying aggressive in there.
A team shooting 46% from the field, and yet that effective on the offensive glass. 5 to shoot, Sellers. Ball in her hands, pull up, long two, drills it to beat the shot clock.
Oh my goodness, man. Come on, Shy. That's a tough bucket right there with 4 hands in her grill. Oh my goodness. Ooh. They're going right back down in there to Hart. She paid it off. A nice easy bucket.
Go for Kubek, Michael flying in. And the second effort for Kayleen Schmeichel.
That has been the difference maker. The offensive boards and second chance points by Maryland here in the second half have created this groundswell of offense for them with this 13-point lead.
You know, it feels like almost a 20-point lead, and Minnesota's kind of keeping it reasonably close. But since the break, it's really been Maryland dictating the pace, the scoring, the flow in this one.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, it just feels like that for sure. And this one, watch the read. Shot clock waning down to 3 seconds. Shyanne Sellers, so cool. And then Schmeichel coming in, flying in with the greatest of ease, getting that one. The second chance board to drop home for the Terps.
Higher making that last shot gives her 12. 80-69, Maryland with the lead. 5:40 left here at XFINITY Center. Ed Cohen, Christine Winter-Scott, and our crew led by Keandell and Shaughnessy, Justin Helm. And there's the banker for the Terps to bring their lead to 13. And Dulcie now with that last runner.
And they cleared it out. They overloaded one side and let her get downhill with it.
Nice answer by Battle. Midway point of the fourth. Sellers kicks it out. Tibiasu with the triple.
She may not have scored that bucket, but she set it up nicely once again. Shyanne Sellers setting the table.
And she's spun down by McKinney, who's been in foul trouble all night. And McKinney now with her 5th.
I mean, they've gotten down into the trenches. Look, a black eye right there, a little shiner. Ugh. Right there on that right eye for hire. Ugh, she needs to hire someone with some ice to get that thing down. And I thought that was a great quote that she gave us earlier. I'm going to tuck that one away because you have to be in the present moment. You can't think about what has happened. They've had a great start. You can't think about what's ahead either.
Christy, to your point with Kubek, 5 for 7 since the break from 3-point range. And Kubek has been square in the middle of it.
Yeah, I mean, she was a big reason why they opened this game up the way that they have.
And Sellers.
She's doing an amazing job. Made the honor roll, as you said earlier, in this game.
That was a stinging loss in many ways for Maryland. And Sellers wasn't taking the shots late in that game, but clearly this is what they need to be that team that's competing for a Final Four. And if she draws the attention, give it up. And there's Tibiasu again. Off the miss by Gracholski. Tibiasu leads the break for Maryland. Final 3 and change to go. Sellers trailing, tees up a 3. Buries it. She's 9 for 11 and 3 of 3 from beyond the arc. A season best 27 is Battle. Can't answer. Hard with the cleanup. Does, and a chance at 3.
You don't find a body. I mean, it's a scrum, and it happens really quickly. And it's easier said than done. Yes, you know you're supposed to find a body, but...
How about Maryland since the break from 3, 7 of 9. Kick it out, Schmeichel. Her 3 is short.
It's a nice skip pass, though, to relieve some defensive pressure that Minnesota was creating on the strong side.
Higher with the shiner.
Even with the shiner, she can still see the bottom of the net. And that corner pocket has been good to her in this one.
And she jumps the route for the steal. Wants it up ahead. Instead, Gracholski to the basket. Scores with the left.
Still a lot of time here.
Yeah, Brenda Frese pleading for the timeout. This is Big Ten basketball, and I think both coaches can't wait for the 40 minutes to run out because It's been physical with bodies just flying and falling here tonight. And Sellers stepped on the midcourt line over and back. So if you're Steve Patterson and Sam Shue, the athletic trainers for both sides tonight, you better have a busy night ahead. Get ready for it. Yeah. Oh, the block by Schmeichel of Battle. Nice fake. One dribble and a three for Grachalski, and she buries it. And your Minnesota, you need everything to go right for a miracle comeback. Schmeichel catch and shoot three is off the mark. Hart the rebound. Final minute in College Park. Can't waste time. Johnson for three. That's good. And all of a sudden, the lead is down to 6 and a timeout by Maryland.
49.7 seconds left. Can you get a stop right here and another quick triple? Now we're cooking.
Sellers inbounding. Double teamed. Tibiasu.
Dangerous pass right there up top.
Diafal to stop the clock. Ball lost. Battle to the rim, and it's down to 4.
Don Plitzowite saying, get up. All the coaches from Minnesota, they get up, put pressure.
16-0 run. Maryland playing keep away. You've got to foul.
Easy for the defense to hem you in, especially when you have a diminutive physical presence.
You have a timeout if you're Minnesota. 2 for 2, and the lead is 6. All right, a 6-point game. Maryland will apply a little pressure. Here goes Battle. Battle frees up an open shot for Stewart. Nails it, and the lead is down to 3. Timeout Maryland with 20 seconds to go.
Big
All right, let's see what they do here. Sellers inbounding, looking still, gets it in tight to Schmeichel. Maryland perfect at the line tonight. And no jinx, 18 for 18. Schmeichel, clutch. Desperately needed. Leads 5. 15 seconds, Battle. Johnson fakes, one dribble to 3. Off the mark this time. Stewart pitching it out, but time running.
Yeah, shoot it.
Rose launches. That's too strong. Schmeichel is fouled with 2.1 to go.
Oh, my.
And Maryland will survive. I mean, shiners and all. A gutty effort down the stretch.
Yeah, good fight. A good fight, literally and figuratively, by Minnesota here on the road.
Battle is short and a top 25 victory. Maryland survives 99-92 tonight against Minnesota.